DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, another Sunday morning no dog vlog. Walking around in the usual haunts. Right now just a park in front of the house. I'm going to make a quick vlog, and so I'd come over where I usually would on a Sunday morning in the last few months. Well, what's up this week? This week was a pretty busy one, at least as far as the professional side of things. I was off twice to conferences, and one of those conferences was connected also with a trade show. It must be that time of the year, I guess. Anyway, and as you saw, some of you in one video, I was at a town called Yverdon, where there was a really strong north wind, and it's on the side of Lake Neuchâtel, and it was winding away. I mean, it was blowing away like mad. Anyway, so that was a good day though. And then we're already Sunday today. So yesterday, listen to me, I just said we were Sunday. On Friday, I went over to Hanukkah meal. I had been invited by an Orthodox rabbi that I have some professional ties with. He does like kosher auditing, stuff like that. And that was a pretty interesting experience. Sadly, I was not allowed to take pictures, neither pictures nor video. So you will not get to see me with a kippah. But it was an interesting experience. I say interesting, also almost interesting of the weird kind. I guess it's teaching me to be respectful of completely other ways of worshiping. Funny, because when you're Christian, you read the Old Testament. It's part basically of the deal, and a lot of times you think like, oh yeah, well, Jews, we read the Hebrew Bible, so we know all about them. Go take a hike. First off, the community that I was in, I was expecting to see everybody, dressed in the Orthodox style. I'm talking about Jewish Orthodox here. Really, like the old East European way, with the big black hats. Nothing like this. I mean, the tall ones and the long beards and so on. Well, there were a couple like that, but most of them were dressed just normal with a kippah. There was one guy, a young guy with dreadlocks. Yeah, I mean, just out of a Bob Marley movie or whatever, but with his kippah. He was white, by the way. He was not black. I said Bob Marley in respect for the hair. And others, loads of kids, family, and they separated the thing into basically it was a big apartment with, it was more or less a floor in an apartment building. So it wasn't actually in the real synagogue. They do have a synagogue over there. And so with kind of separations at first for the women and the men. Somebody's coming along with their dog, wondering why I am not dog vlogging. Anyway, that's another thing. And then there was about approximately 30 to 45 minutes of what we would call in the Christian circles worshiping. In other words, in this case, singing and reading of texts, Hebrew texts. Everything was in Hebrew. Luckily, the little booklets had Hebrew and the English translations, which permitted me actually to see that a lot of what they were reading was basically Old Testament stuff, and probably out of the Talmud, probably. I don't know exactly, but a lot of Old Testament stuff, a lot of Psalms. And that's what they were doing. They were psalmodying, singing and, moving like this with their bodies. And it was very impressive. But there was such a a chaos in a way. First off, okay, the women were on one side of the room. There was some type of barriers put, but they weren't like completely closed off. The kids were playing in another room, running around. The men at one point were even, sometimes they would even talk to each other while the rabbi was ahead, and you could see, I mean, they weren't talking about the church stuff or whatever. No, they were just going on, and of course, most of them were just praying along, and I tell you, I've been to a lot of Pentecostal churches, made them look kind of calm, and, you know, yeah, really calm. There wasn't any really holy rollers there, but we weren't very far. Man, I mean, then this went on for about 45 minutes. Changing pages and this and that. Turning around, some people standing up, then all of a sudden some people, you know, yelling spontaneous, "Oh my," which was amen. And I tell you, you could have been, many times, you could have been in a Pentecostal church. Then, the rabbi stopped. They removed some of the separations between the men and the women, not all of them, some of them. And then he made basically what was the equivalent of a sermon on trusting God and so on. And it was a Hanukkah Sabbath or what. So there was a lot about lights and trusting and rededication because it was related to that. And then there was the equivalent, I would say, of a communion, in the sense that there was a lot of little glasses of wine or grape juice. It was grape juice, actually, but I don't know if there was a reason that they took grape juice instead of wine, but whatever. And it was all in little cups, some type of blessing. And each of us, men, children, women, everybody in the room, basically, everybody in the building, had their little cup and held it. And then when the service was finished and everybody drank it, then there was a buffet. And the rabbi came to me and he said, "You're going to have to go and get food because nobody's going to give you any." And man, it was like ravenous wolves. They were going on that buffet, a lot of fried stuff and salads. I barely managed to get something. No, I mean, you should have seen it. Wow, I was impressed. I mean, even hungry pack of Jews, even the ones that were from Israel that were there, they just probably knew by instinct what to do. Anyway, it was something. I even got told at one point, don't ask me why, I was trying to get close to the table and some very polite young lady told me, "Would you stop bumping my mother out of the way?" And I didn't know what the heck she was talking about, but I guess the mother was behind me and was trying to edge her way closer or something. So I just kind of, you know, I was a guest there. I didn't tell her to go take a hike. So I just kind of said, "Well, I'm sorry," and let her have a place. But aside from that little mini incident, it was okay. So I had a little bit to eat and then basically left for home because I was 2 hours from home. It was interesting. I had brought some little gifts. I must be getting along in the time here. I brought some little gifts for them because it was Hanukkah. And yeah, that was it. So I've been talking about that a long time, way longer than I wanted to, and didn't get to talk about other stuff. And you're saying, God. No, you're not saying God, because that's not what you're thinking of when you're thinking of me, I guess. But you are saying, "Will we ever shut up?" Well, I guess I will. Maybe I'll make a second vlog. Yeah, that'll be another video that you can just kind of click over. Okay. So, it'll be DC signing off. It's cold here again. The snow's gone, but it is about -5 Celsius. DC signing off. Take care for this Sunday morning no dog vlog. Bye.